The big international story now. It's Battleground Britain, and 46 million voters are eligible to vote today in the UK. There are 650 constituencies and 40,000 polling booths. There are also 3.3 million eligible first-time voters, and all parties are fighting for the crucial Indian vote. Srinivasan Jain is in Wembley in London and joins us live. Vasu, most pundits feeling this could be a hung parliament?
Well, Amitabh, interestingly enough, there are strict guidelines that are laid down by Ofcom, which is the main regulatory authority for British broadcasting, which doesn't allow you to speculate at all on the outcome of the election or have any kind of political narrative till polls close, which is at 10 o'clock at night British time. Right now, it's just, of course, an early start here to the day. But let me just set the stage for you, Amitabh. We are in Ealing in Wembley, which is a predominantly Asian area. We're outside a polling centre, which is in a library in Ealing. And you're just seeing now a first trickle of voters who are actually going inside. I can tell you that we were here about half an hour to 45 minutes ago, and there was virtually nobody here. This is not like any election that I've covered, and certainly not like an Indian election. This obviously has to do also with the fact that there are very few numbers of voters. There are only about 60,000 voters for an entire parliamentary constituency, which is the size of a municipal ward in India. And also, there's also questions about whether or not people are really enthusiastic about voting in this election. We managed to persuade this young gentleman here. He says he's originally from Hyderabad, who's just come out from voting. Now, as I just said, the rules don't allow you to ask us anything more than perhaps what was the experience like of voting, and what are your expectations from this election?
The voting is fairly simple. I just go there, pick up my candidate and choose this candidate and vote it. That's it. It's fairly simple.
Okay. And what are your expectations from this election?
Not much. I mean, the present government is doing good, so we just have to choose which one is doing a good job for us. And they've been campaigning for 5 weeks now, and we know what sort of stuff they're doing and they want to do for next 5 years.
Right.
That's it. We have to choose the best candidate among them.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you just come in early to vote, and now you're going off to work?
I'm going back to work now, yes.
Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Thank you. We'll let you go. Rahul Joglekar, my colleague here, joins me. Rahul, how do we put this politely? I mean, this has been an underwhelming experience for us from the morning. We've been trying to find, Amitabh, a good place to do a live OB from with a little bit of activity, some color. But even in this predominantly Indian area, virtually nothing.
Yeah, I mean, there's two ways of looking at it, because it's it's so well organized that they say that there should be a polling station within walking distance of everybody in London. So if you have that kind of planning, you usually never see a queue. You never see people waiting and all of that. And also, remember, this is kind of a country that's sort of almost invented electoral style democracy in a way, and has reached that stage where it's kind of almost
they moved
boring.
To another level. Yeah. Boring is the B word. We're trying not to use the B word, but let me tell you, one is very tempted to use that. In fact, as Rahul said, this is a country that has evolved its electoral practices to the extent that there are virtually no filters or checks when you come in to vote. And we caught up with S.Y. Qureshi, former Chief Election Commissioner, who's part of an international group of observers going around observing the British elections. And these were his first impressions. So it's still early into voting here in Britain, and we are outside a polling station which is built into the side of a church. And I have with me Dr. S.Y. Qureshi, former Chief Election Commissioner, who's part of a group of international observers who've come down to look and observe at this British election. Now, we, of course, as media are not allowed to go inside the polling station, but Qureshi Sahab has been there. Qureshi Sahab, what did you see about this at the moment, of course, it's early days, this very quiet, very, by Indian standards, thanda election? What did you make of it?
Yeah, absolutely. It is very surprising. So peaceful, so calm. We were not even sure whether we have come to the right place.
Yes.
And whether the staff has come. In India, it looks like a war zone.
Yes.
Here, it is like any other day.
There's no one around us. We're just seeing, one or two people
When
walk
we
in.
came 15 minutes before the opening at 7 o'clock, there was no voter. And the polling staff is only 3 persons. and they were still in the process of setting it up. But it was
And how do you actually identify the voter? What's the system?
They have the voters list like we have in India, printed voter list, and voters have been given a voting card, a polling card, delivered at home, where the map of the polling station is shown, the number of polling station is shown, and their the identification number, unique ID number is there. So they bring it, and on that basis, their name
But
is
if you don't have it?
even then you are allowed, so long as you come in and identify yourself, and
That's
they
it.
can locate you on the electoral roll. That is enough. The system is very trusting.
It's totally a
Because
trust-based
it's
system.
A trust-based system.
That's quite remarkable that you can just walk in
Yes.
and just say that you are John Smith, and if you're there on the list, you can vote. That's
yeah.
it.
Yes, quite right. Because there are no incidents of impersonation, the kind we have in our part of the world.
Firstly, it's very small. I mean, this is something that one has to understand. The average size of a parliamentary constituency here is only about 70,000 voters.
70,000, yes.
Which is the size of a
I think,
municipal ward in India.
I would think so. In fact, if the size of our parliamentary constituency was equivalent to UK, probably we'll have 12,000 MPs.
Which is the size of a stadium, as we were just saying.
Yes.
So you're then off to see elections and voting in the rest of
Yes, we are going to
the
4
country?
constituencies in the suburb also.
So unlikely that you're going to run into any booth capturing or tampering.
Unless you're planning to stage something. Not at all.
But certainly you're right. It's very, very different
Yes.
to the mahal and feel of an Indian election.
Right.
But perhaps later in the day, we'll start seeing
Correct.
a little more activity.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, something different from India is that they begin at 7 like us, but they go on till 10 p.m.
Yes.
and there is no holiday. So
That's why they stay open later.
They stay open later. So there are many working people come and vote late in the evening.
Right.
And after 10 o'clock, they'll take about an hour to pack up and go to the counting center.
And it's all manual. There's no electronic vote, so they'll have to sit and count each ballot paper.
Yes, totally manual. And the counting will begin tonight itself. And a different set of people.
Okay.
And at 11 it begins, yeah.
Perhaps this is a case where we may have a few tips to give the British.
How to capture booths or what?
Not how to capture booths, but how to vote perhaps a little more efficiently. The wheel has come full circle. Qureshi Saab,
Thank you
thanks
very
very much indeed for talking to us.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.